Hello, friends of Tangled Hearts. Welcome to our channel, where stories of love and passion come to life. Let's begin our thrilling journey into the world of human relationships. It was 9 o'clock in the evening when Bill finally made up his mind and walked upstairs to the bedroom. Anna, his stunning 26-year-old wife, was getting ready to go out with her friends. Bill wasn't particularly thrilled about her outing with these women last Friday, but he couldn't bring himself to accept it as part of her new weekly routine. Anna noticed the expression on his face and sighed. "You're not going to sulk about this, are you?" she asked. Bill gestured toward the tiny dress laid out on the bed and the sensual, sky-blue lingerie she was wearing. She looked absolutely captivating in them. "I haven't seen these before," he remarked. She appeared slightly embarrassed. "Well, yes, I bought them just this week," she admitted. Bill pondered for a moment, then went to the bathroom and returned holding a plain set of lingerie from the laundry basket. "So, is this what a husband usually sees?" he asked, pointing to the unremarkable bra and panties in his hand. "But you're happy to wear this," he said, gesturing toward the revealing sky-blue bra and lace thong. "For men you've never even met before?" He gazed at her intently, pausing meaningfully. "Unless," he added, "this is just another nighttime outing with the girls. Or maybe you've arranged to meet someone, like a date?" Anna stared at him in disbelief. "No," she exclaimed. "There's no one else. How could you even think that?" Bill ignored her protest and carefully chose his words. "So," he said, "when you're out with your friends, you never dance with other men, embrace them, kiss them, or let them get close to you? How dare you even suggest that?" Anna retorted, her anger rising. "I dare to suggest it," Bill replied calmly, "because I know more about your friends than you might realize. One is single, 2 are divorced, and then there's you to complete the set. Do you honestly expect me to believe that when they're out looking for casual flings, they wouldn't try to involve you in their world? How dare you judge them?" Anna snapped. "I'm not judging them," Bill said evenly. "They're free to make their own choices, just as you are." She looked at him suspiciously. "So, you're telling me not to go? How is that a choice?" "I didn't tell you not to go," Bill responded. "I'm simply saying that I find it inappropriate for a married woman to engage in behavior that could harm her marriage. Your friends are pulling you into situations that could lead to trouble for us." Anna's anger flared. "Are you seriously implying that my nights out with my girlfriends could threaten our marriage?" She scoffed. "Don't be so insecure. I always come home to you. Why are you so worried?" "I'm worried," Bill explained, "because you're the most beautiful woman I've ever known. You go to clubs with single women I don't trust, surrounded by excited men and alcohol. That's a recipe for trouble." He raised his hand to stop her from interrupting. "Our marriage is already at risk because you expect me to accept this." He gestured toward her revealing outfit, without any questions. "Hey, now it's too late. I promised to meet them at 10, and now you're trying to make me late," Anna said, continuing to focus on her makeup. Bill decided to make one last attempt. "You also promised to respect your husband," he remarked pointedly. "It seems you're quite comfortable breaking that promise. Or are your friends' feelings more important to you than mine? What the hell is wrong with you? Don't you trust me?" she snapped. "I'm just going out for drinks with the girls, that's all. Now, for heaven's sake, leave me alone." Bill sighed deeply. "It's not that I don't want to trust you," he replied, "but I can't sit at home every Friday night, wondering if you'll cross a line, whether intentionally or accidentally. What if you end up flirting with some guy?" "I would never do that," Anna exclaimed. But Bill cut her off. "Gail bragged about her escapades on social media last week. She's one of your friends, and that's exactly what she did. How much longer until I start wondering if the same thing is happening with you, just because I don't find out?" Anna stared at him, speechless. He continued, now more determined. "If you want to go dancing, invite me along. But if you just want to mingle with strangers, then be honest with me, and we can end this right now." "You're being ridiculous and insulting," she lashed out. "No, I'm being truthful, Bill countered. I don't believe you're just looking for innocent fun or a harmless dance. I'm willing to believe you haven't cheated, but this is the choice I'm giving you. Stay or go. It's up to you. But remember, I also have a choice. If you leave, you can party all you want without me in your life. I won't be here when you come back. So here it is, Bill said at last. He had given her every chance to understand his feelings and his desire to repair their marriage. Now, the choice was hers, him or them. You're joking, aren't you? She asked, furious. It was a level of anger he had never seen in her in the 4 years they had been together. No, he replied calmly. If you want to dress like your friends and go out drinking and dancing with them every Friday night, that's your decision. I'm just telling you that the thought of sitting at home, waiting for you to come back one night, is not the future I imagine for myself. He turned and walked toward the door. For now, I have things to do. I'll be downstairs when you've made your decision. Anna sat in front of the mirror, deep in thought. She hadn't physically cheated on him, at least not yet. Last week, though, she'd felt an undeniable temptation while chatting with a charming guy at the club. That was as far as it had gone. Still, she liked how the men on the dance floor looked at her. Their gazes made her feel attractive and desired. Bill often complimented her, telling her how beautiful she was, but he had to. He was her husband. The men at the club didn't have to. They looked at her with want, and that made her feel alive. Downstairs, Bill sat at his laptop, completing an online form. It was 10:40 p.m. when Anna finally came downstairs. He looked up, waiting. Was she staying or leaving? She wore high heels that highlighted her long, elegant legs, disappearing into a short, tight blue dress. He didn't say a word, unsure if she was coming to accept his invitation to dance, or if she intended to meet her wild friends at the club. Anna hesitated, then spoke. I'm leaving. We can talk tomorrow. Bill shook his head slowly, turned back to his computer, and said nothing. Silently, he ignored her. She stood there for a moment, unsure if he was bluffing. When she left, he didn't even hear the front door close. After she was gone, Bill finished filling out the form, attached the link to an email, and clicked send. Then, he went upstairs and threw some clothes into 2 suitcases. On Monday, he would inform his boss that he had accepted the job offer in Dubai. As he waited for a taxi, he sent a message to Anna's family group chat. Hello, everyone. I'm sorry you have to find out this way, but Anna has made it clear that she needs more excitement and variety in her life than I can offer. I've sent her the link to our divorce statement via email. It has been an honor to be part of your family, but I hope you understand why I have decided, from this moment on, to no longer maintain contact with any of you. Best wishes, Bill. Before leaving, he approached the printer, took a sheet of paper, and wrote something down. He taped it over their wedding photo above the fireplace. Then, he turned off his phone and stepped outside to wait for the taxi. At the same time, Anna had just sat down at a table in the club, chatting with Gail. Her phone rang. She glanced at the screen and smirked. If this is Bill begging me to come home, irritably, Anna muttered, realizing it wasn't Bill. It was her older sister, Karen. Where on earth are you disappearing to? Karen yelled over the phone. I'm at the club with my friends, Anna replied defensively. So, does Bill know? Karen pressed. Yeah, well, he knows I'm hanging out with friends. So, what's the problem? Anna asked, trying to sound unconcerned. And was he okay with it? Karen's tone was sharp, but Anna could sense the underlying concern. Karen had always had a soft spot for Bill. No, he wasn't happy, Anna admitted reluctantly. But I told him we'd talk about it tomorrow. Well, good luck with that, you fool, Karen snapped. He dumped you. If you don't believe me, check your email. Anna's face dropped, and Gail watched in shock as Anna scrambled to open her email app. Even in the dim lighting of the club, Gail could see her friend visibly pale. Anna's eyes locked onto a message from her family. It had to be why Karen had called. Just as her heart began to race, her phone rang again. She snatched it up, hoping it was Bill. But it wasn't. It was her father. "What did you say to Bill?" her father demanded, his voice stern. "That man treated you like a queen, and you wanted more," her father continued angrily. "No, Dad, it's not like that," Anna protested. "I just felt trapped. I needed one night a week, to be myself." "You're in a nightclub, Anna. Your husband just left you, and you're still going to these damn nightclubs?" he asked incredulously. Her father's fury was evident. He had never cursed in front of the family before. What could she say? The background noise made it obvious where she was. "No, Dad, listen. He must have decided something after I left." "Dad? Dad!" she called out, but he had already hung up. Anna grabbed her purse and phone, hurrying toward the exit. She completely ignored Gail and didn't even notice her other two friends as she passed them on the street. She flagged down a taxi and was home within 15 minutes. On the way, she tried calling Bill, but his phone went straight to voicemail. The house was silent and empty. Kicking off her shoes, she rushed upstairs. Most of his clothes and his shaving kit were gone. Downstairs, she found that his phone, laptop, and wallet were missing as well. Back upstairs, she opened the drawer where his passport was usually kept. It was gone too. He had warned her. There had been no ambiguity, no room for misinterpretation. If she left that night, she would come home to an empty house. She sat on the stairs, stunned. Bill had always valued honesty above everything else. He had been betrayed in the past, and trust meant everything to him. He had done exactly what he said he would. Anna descended the stairs in complete bewilderment. Just an hour ago, she had been a married woman. Now, they were separated. Less than a year later, she would be divorced, all because she chose to go dancing. Then, her eyes fell on the photograph above the fireplace. Something was off about it. As she moved closer, her stomach churned. It wasn't their wedding photo anymore. Instead, it was an image from someone's social media profile. The picture showed a young man on one knee, proposing to his girlfriend. But in the background, there was Anna, kissing another man while he fondled her. At the bottom of the photo, in bold black letters, Bill had written, "Liar." What happened next? Bill moved abroad and began a new life. Anna was granted the freedom she had dreamed of, but quickly discovered its consequences. 6 months later, she suffered an abortion and subsequent childlessness. Meanwhile, Bill married a sweet and charming Australian woman he met while kayaking in Dubai. Their story, the story of Bill and Anna, ended that night. Story 2. As I turned into my street, I reduced my speed and drove cautiously. The city council still hadn't fixed the dangerous pothole in the middle of the road, despite my weekly phone calls and letters. Our street sat at the base of a steep hill, which caused cars to speed dangerously as they entered. I always worried that an accident would happen one day, but apparently, this wasn't a priority. The only response I ever received was the standard: "We are working on it." Well, perhaps I'll consider voting for the opposition in the next election. As I approached the house, I noticed a large car parked in the driveway. I wondered if one of Emma's friends had come to visit her. I was familiar with Emma's friends. They occasionally hung out at our place, so it wouldn't have been unusual to see one of their cars. But this car didn't look like anything her friends would drive. Emma and I had been dating for 4 years, and for the past year, we'd been living together. I knew she was expecting a proposal soon, and I had been planning to give her the ring and ask her to spend the rest of her life with me. As it turns out, she had her own plans to give me a lifelong memory, one I'd never forget. I parked in the garage and entered the house, announcing my arrival. "Darling, I'm back from work." She was sitting in the living room on the couch with a man I didn't recognize. Instantly, I had a bad feeling about the situation, but I decided to give her a chance to explain before letting my emotions get the better of me. "I didn't know we had a guest." "Who is this?" I asked, trying to keep my tone neutral. Emma stood up nervously. Welcome home, dear. Mark, this is... this is Donovan. She hesitated, then added, I think we need to talk. My suspicions were confirmed. Still, I tried to remain calm. Losing my temper or being violent wouldn't help the situation. What is there to talk about? You both know how this looks, and I sincerely hope I'm wrong about what I'm thinking. Please tell me there's a logical explanation. She glanced at Donovan before looking back at me. Well, you see, you know we've been together for a long time, and I really do want to marry you and grow old together. But she paused, seemingly trying to find the right words. I feel like there are things I need to explore before settling down forever. I don't want to reach 60 and regret everything I didn't experience. So, I think it's better to get this out of my system while I'm still young and unmarried. My heart sank as she continued. I've been seeing Donovan for a while now, and I don't want to keep doing it behind your back. I thought it would be fair to tell you. I want to make you an offer so we can all be happy. Don't you think it would be nice to open up our relationship? Open up the relationship? I repeated, stunned. Seriously, Emma? What's honest about that? This isn't honesty. It's a complete mess. I hope you won't take it this way. You understand that by agreeing to this, you'll also have the freedom to see other women. But I trust you enough to know you'll come back to me. I won't pretend I'm thrilled about it. But for a relationship to work, both partners need to follow the same rules. So, I can't deny for you what I want for myself. Give us a chance, and you'll see how much stronger we'll become because of it. Even if you're not completely convinced right now, I'm certain that in a few months, you'll see this as just a small, beneficial adjustment in our relationship. Do you even hear yourself? I replied, struggling to stay composed. You're not playing by the right rules at all. You've been carrying on a romance behind my back, and now you're trying to frame it as an open relationship just so you don't feel guilty about it. A minor shakeup? God, you're insane. Have you always been this clueless? And I just didn't notice until now. Donovan started to speak. Listen here. No. Shut up, I snapped. For heaven's sake, this is between her and me. That's enough out of you. Both of you, get out of my house right now. I can't stand to be around either of you. Emma sighed, clearly annoyed. I really hoped you wouldn't react like this, but I suspected it might happen. I've packed a bag with a few things, and I'm going to stay with Donovan for a few days to give you time to calm down. I'm sure you'll understand in time. Get out, I said coldly, seeing the fury in my eyes. Emma decided it was best not to push any further. She grabbed her bag and approached me, as if to kiss me goodbye, but the anger in my expression stopped her. Without another word, she turned and left. They both left the house and walked toward his car. I stood by the door, doing my best to remain calm, and said, I hope you understand that we're done. I'll let you know when you can come by to pick up the rest of your things. And I hope you're wise enough to ask someone else for help, because that lowlife is not allowed in my house. Emma stood near the passenger seat door, while Donovan approached from the driver's side, facing the road. She made one final plea. Darling, please don't make any decisions right now. I know you're upset, and I'm sorry for being the cause of it. But I truly believe this will make us stronger in the long run. I'll give you a few days to cool down before we talk again. Her words were abruptly drowned out by the roar of an engine running at full throttle. We all turned our attention to the deafening noise as a red sports car came speeding down the hill, far above the speed limit. The sound was so loud it made further conversation impossible, so Emma fell silent, waiting for the car to pass. As I watched the vehicle approach, I realized it was heading straight for the large pothole in the road, one too deep and dangerous to be seen in time at such high speed. The car hit the pothole, lost control, and veered directly into Donovan's car, slamming into the driver's side where Donovan was standing. Emma froze, her horrified expression saying everything. Meanwhile, I couldn't help but smile faintly. Perhaps I would vote for the current mayor after all. As we wrap up this journey into the intricate dynamics of human relationships, remember to subscribe, like, and share our content. Thank you for your support, and we look forward to sharing the next story with you.